Hello, everybody. I'm Maria, and I work here at Veriff doing employer branding. And today we are here with Luke, who's going to be sharing a little bit about the experience of being part of the sales team. First things first, can you tell me your name and your role?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Luke Ashley. I'm the senior account executive here at Veriff. Ultimately, I'm in a sales role, so I'm about winning new customers for Veriff, and specifically enterprise level customers, typically customers that can spend sort of over $100,000, something like that. So I guess fundamentally my role is helping businesses to understand what Veriff can do, what value they can add. First of all, I obviously want to try and understand the challenges that they're trying to address. But ultimately, it's my role to hopefully clearly articulate the value that Veriff can add to an organization that engage with us.
Cool. And how long have you been working with us?
So I joined in August of this year, 1st of August of this year.
Okay, so you're super new to the company. That's
Yeah.
nice. And what were you doing before joining Veriff?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been in the KYC or ID verification industry since I left university, actually. So I spent 12 years at a business called GBG, helping them to grow their ID verification business, and then moved to a business called True Narrative, and then joined Veriff in August. So I've always been in sales, always been in IDV. It's kind of what I'm passionate about. So yeah, it'll be a long while. I think that I'm still in the industry, I hope, as well.
Perfect. That's amazing. And why did you decide to join Veriff, actually?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was pretty familiar with Veriff, having competed against them at GBG, and then they were actually a partner of ours at True Narrative as well. So, obviously, I recognised that digital identity verification was important and was only going to get more important. But the specific why around Veriff really came down to two things. It was the product, which I knew from kind of having experienced it firsthand was essentially market leading technology, but then kind of the people as well. So when I met some of the exec and got a view of like the sort of caliber of those individuals and their vision for where they wanted to take the business, yeah, for me it was a really, really easy decision to say yes to.
We know that you managed to close some amazing numbers in the first few months. So can you tell us a little bit about how you managed to do that and how they supported you on it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think for me, it kind of comes down to two things. So firstly, I've got quite a bit of experience in the industry. So what that means is that coming into Veriff, I was already pretty familiar with the challenges that businesses face and how Veriff could help them to address those. So, I didn't kind of have to learn that from scratch. But probably a bigger factor, in my opinion, is what I genuinely believe is a world-class sales enablement program that Lawrence and his team have put together. So, like from day one, I had a really, really clear plan as to how I could make myself successful in Veriff and really clear metrics as to what good looked like at 30 days, at 60 days, at 90 days, which is obviously coming up. So Lawrence and his team, put in place really, really extensive training. Probably, I've not really had any onboarding experience like what I've had at Veriff in terms of how detailed and how thorough the onboarding process is to make sure that they are bringing people into the business that are able to kind of hit the ground running, essentially. So for me, it was those two things. It was Lawrence's and Lawrence's team sales enablement, kind of coupled with the experience that I had from the industry already, I'd say.
Super cool. And you also talk about the product, right? You say one of the things that convinced you to join Veriff was the product that we have. Can you deep dive there and share a little bit about what make our products different and what do you like most about selling Veriff?
Yeah, so it's a really good question, and one of the questions that as a salesperson you get asked fairly consistently is, well, why Veriff? Why is it any different to anybody else? If you go into Google and type in ID verification, you're going to get like a dozen businesses that all pretty much say we've got the most document coverage, we've got the quickest response time, all saying very, very similar things. But ultimately, at Veriff, we can prove that out, and we can prove that out with proof of concepts and things with customers. So typically what we see is customers are looking for solutions that very, very simply enable them to approve more good customers and identify and reject more bad individuals. And quite simply, Veriff will approve more good customers than any of our nearest competitors. So if you're looking to do anything in financial services, gaming, gambling, all the key sectors that we go after, a key consideration is how do we get as many good people through the door and reject as many bad people as possible. And we see time and time again when we enter proof of concepts and we enter tests with our competitors, we just help businesses approve more good customers and reject more bad ones. So the how we get into that, there's a whole bunch of kind of features that we've got within the technology itself, but fundamentally what I've experienced so far, that's kind of the key point of difference for Veriff.
That's great, and great to hear. I mean, last question for you. What would you say to somebody that is considering to join the company?
Yeah, I mean, I'm nearly 3 months in. I absolutely don't regret it. I think the 2 and a bit months that I've had at Veriff have been kind of a breath of fresh air for me personally. So I would say to anyone looking to join, get hold of the product, speak to the founders, speak to the key people involved in this business, hear a little bit about the vision, what we think Veriff can do in the world and where we're trying to take this business. And after that, you won't need anyone else to sell it to you, because it's really, really clear what our vision is, what we're trying to do, and the quality of the product is absolutely going to get us there. So yeah, anyone looking to join should stop looking.